alternatives, like different courses of action, and you are not sure why it is the best course of action. So when you put the decision problem there, you can spend a minute or two talking about why it is difficult to make the choice. Okay? That's what's at the top. Following that, you must tell what the research problem is. The research problem is usually information, obtaining what is the right information that will help make the choice at work, right? Both these are essential to motivate the presentation. Questions on that? Then, the third set of slides have to talk about the activities that you participated in, right? These are not findings, but these are activities. So you search the internet, you look for this and that, you talk with experts, you talk with that expert and this expert, and then you conducted 2 focus groups. You want details of the focus group. Where did you conduct it? How many people were there? How long did it take? All that type of thing. Nowhere here are you talking about findings, right? It's after that, after you've told all the activities that are being done, then you're going to talk about this is the finding from the internet, this is the finding from somewhere else, this is the finding from, this is a summary of the findings, findings from the experts, and then using all of that information to develop a discussion guide for the focus groups, and that's what we show next. When you show this discussion guide, please note the following. Every discussion guide will have several subtopics, right? In this, for instance, I think they have 6 or 7 subtopics. Each topic has 4 or 5 questions underneath it. But when you show this, you're going to talk about the topic and maybe 1 or maximum 2 key issues for each of those topics, right? But in addition to this, you're going to have backup slides of all the questions you ever had. So if someone says, this is great, I want to see what other questions you asked, at that time you sort of go to your backup slides and pull up everything that you talked about. Right? Does that make sense? So to show your discussion guide, those are all the topics. And then I actually like to put this findings a little later, but you need to show the second discussion guide. In the second discussion guide, what changes were made has to be highlighted, and then you show the findings. After you show the discussion guide, then you talk about what are the findings from that discussion guide. And this particular group went ahead and did more work than they were required to do. They did a survey. You're not required to do this, but if you did use it, this is the point where you should introduce it. After everything, what the requirements are done. And this is some findings. Then this is an important slide. Every project has some limitations. You cannot do perfect projects, right? So whatever those limitations are, you're going to talk about. Now a bad idea here is to say you didn't have time to do things. It's not really a good limitation to talk about in your reports or in your presentation, but rather it should be what you wish you did better, right? That's what you need to talk about. Once all this is done, you give your recommendation. What's important about these recommendations? They must be based on the survey or the research that you did, focus groups, internet search, and everything. It shouldn't be, this is what I think is right. I'm just going to say it, despite whatever the research found. There should be a link between the research findings and the recommendations. And once that is done, you go to your backup slides or the full discussion slides. If you don't include this in the presentation, I'll be forced to reduce points from your project because it's the requirement that I'm placing on how you make the presentation, right? And once you have all that, you're done. Now, every group that is going to make a presentation will load the presentation onto the computer and will give me a handout with 3 slides per page. Okay? I'll have that before you start making the presentation. And that's necessary for every group at one time. Does it make sense? Yes.
What is this slide that you're showing right now?
It's the backup slide.
Is that the changes they made to the discussion guide?
So this, they won't even get to these backup slides if none of us ask
okay.
questions about it.
Okay.
But they have to be prepared for it.
Okay.
Other questions?
Time issue, you had mentioned that time shouldn't be brought up. What if we felt that we should have conducted a 1 or 2 month study, but we didn't have time to do so?
That's fair enough. I mean, that's like a new research idea, but to say, we couldn't do this because all of us were really busy, right? That's not the right idea.
It's in my group for another class. He owns
Any other
a landscaping business, Like I didn't even realize when we talked about
You just mentioned kind of after you were done summarizing them that it sounded like a certain slide was required. You need like everything you just said is required. If we didn't include something, then
Okay.
point out.
Now, I do have a guideline
Yeah.
presentation that has all the slides you need to put in. This is an implementation of that guideline.
Okay, just making sure.
No, it's a good question.
So we don't need to have backup slides, do we?
So
Yes.
Every presentation must have backup.
That's in the rubric.
Yes.
Is this PowerPoint going to be available online to use as well for reference? Or?
No, it's only the guideline. If you like, I'll show you one more presentation. It's quick.